Hello again, YouTube! We are back with another Scribblenauts Unlimited Object Editor Creation Commentary. Here we go, starting off with a windsurfer as the source object. You do want the male windsurfer here. We're going to be creating the Ice King from Fortnite today, but guess what? Another king is involved in this episode as well. Yes, that is right, King of the Monsters, Godzilla. Now you do see that we have the head source object over on the right. We are creating simultaneously the head and the body as two separate objects. If you're unfamiliar with Scribblenauts Unlimited, it does have a stamp limit, and a stamp is essentially anything like this cyborg arm that we've got over there on that left side. And notice, of course, that cyborg arm we are going to color with a special texture. It's just on the first page in that top left corner of that color texture pattern library or whatever. But that's one example. That cyborg arm basically is one stamp, just like that octopus tentacle piece, which we're grabbing over there on the right side for, the Ice King's hood, that cloak over him. We do need it to be a little bit more open. I just wanted a little bit more black space right there. So those octopus tentacle pieces on either side can make the black a little bit wider. And we got claws coming up right here. It's not that the Ice King has claws or anything like that, literally. It's that the gauntlets or gloves that he's wearing, like that, do have kind of pointed tips. And so the claws work really well for that. Snow crab, I guess you could call it the snow crab's shoulder or something, is for the head object over there on the right with the eyes, like those glowing blue eyes look epic. And so the snow crab, kind of, I would say, better than dots. You know, if you just painted dots blue, you could do that if you wanted to. We had a dinosaur, the body object, that's for the chest plate there on the Ice King's body. And knee pads up there for shoulder pads. Actually, it's funny, knee pads are turned into shoulder pads, and a sword. This is really interesting to me because years and years ago, we created Opal from Steven Universe, and I wanted to get that tapestry that flows in between the legs. And I wanted to do a sword back then too, but the thing is that unless you can cover up that sword handle with something, it's actually just going to kind of look like a sword is there, rather than what we've got here, which is using a sword to actually be the tapestry, and it works, I guess, really well. It integrates into the creation. Now, over on the right side with the head, you want that Sphinx creature. Take the leg that's in the back, and using the hind legs, that one in the back, pretty good stamp right there for the metal part that's going to be around, kind of in line with the eyes, but goes all the way around the head, and it's gonna have those spikes, blade type spikes up on the top of that. We got an octopus coming up next on the left side this time, and so the octopus here we can use on the left side of that octopus. It would be to our left, I should say. There's these tentacles that are shaped like that, a pretty wide open angle. We can paint them up light blue and put them on to the chest right here for some more of this coloring. This design that's on the chest plate and everything is just has those lighter blue shades. The lines are going up and to the side a little bit. You want pyramid right here, but the pyramid is of course just a little geometric shape, not actually a pyramid building. Now on the right side for his head, we just put down an ankle. So after using ice for the metal on the other side, we got the ankle coming up here to be like where it starts with those bladed points coming out. It's like the Ice King's crown, you know. Tooth fairy, female tooth fairy, that is the back arm piece we just put behind. It's basically behind the body right now. It'll be some more of that hood. You'll see when we put them together. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to enter into the properties editor where you can edit health and other things about your character that are a little bit behind the scenes. So when I get to this part of the video, I like to read background information and fun facts about the characters that we are creating. So here we go. Surprisingly, I have a lot to say about the Ice King from Fortnite, or rather, I have a lot of things to say that may not specifically be about Ice King, but to fill up this behind the scenes section right here. Let's start out by just noting, of course, that today's Scribblenauts creation is actually really the Season 7 Ice King skin, so that's more the design that we're going off of, and you'll be able to do any of the other tiers, for outliving various numbers of opponents by simply just recoloring what we've created here today. But I wanted to turn attention over to a comment that is very, I guess, interesting. We'll use that word, but I mean interesting not in the best way. We mostly get positive vibes around here on this channel, which I appreciate and am practicing even more gratitude for in 2019. My comment section isn't filled with too much hate, but in the last year, when someone did come along with something whack to say, I actually heard about 3 times a comment about Fortnite like this. They'd say, your channel went downhill, or this is a dead channel, blah, blah, blah. And then they'd say something like, this channel is so downhill, you're probably gonna do Fortnite next. We can pick this apart so much, but you could go either way with that. First off, I think we've done 3 Fortnite-related creations if you count this episode, and one was an Ask the Doc. But if you look at them, it's not like they got, amazing views and subs or anything. One of them actually got more traffic because it had Beast Bendy in it instead of the Fortnite stuff, because people actually tuned out as soon as I made the Fortnite skins in it. But the main point is this. That's not what I'm trying to get bogged down in. If there's ever something that you don't like that we create, it's all in the votes. I kind of have little to do with that. You guys leave comments down below requesting something, and I create the most popular. If it's Fortnite at any point, it's because the most amount of different people asked for it. But what's funny is if that comment comes across, I've already done Fortnite stuff, so it's like, your move, jerk-offs. But yes, of course, we're going to take the Ice King body right here, and when you, say, put the head and the body object together, and maybe they don't match up too well, like they don't align very well, you can just edit these green grids. You guys have seen this if you've watched my videos before, but if you're new, basically, you just move around that head grid. You can turn on the green grids with that button on the left side that turns it on. And if you are new, again, welcome. I really appreciate if you subscribe, because now we are moving on to our next object. Can we get some Godzilla hype? No? Maybe? Well, some people have been asking for Godzilla stuff for a while, so it's kind of nice that it finally made it to most popular, most requested. Anyway, we got the dinosaur source object with the Sarcosuchus. Have I explained this? Sarcosuchus, it looks like that. We grabbed the body of it, but I don't know if I've ever said this on a commentary, but it reminds me of Psycho Circus. Every time that I say that name, I'm like thinking Psycho Circus, and that, of course, from the band Kiss. Ladies and gentlemen, here, longtime fans know that I am I'm a fanatic for Kiss, the band. Am I that old that you guys don't know what I'm talking about? Oh, you do know what I'm talking about? Okay, let's see. So we got the Sarcosuchus body on the body as well as for the neck. So the dinosaur does have a separate moving neck that you can isolate and put things down for. So put a Sarcosuchus body there as well. And we got Camptosaurus head. Then with the fossil, if you take the full fossil, not the partial one, but the full fossil, you can grab that bottom jaw of the fossil. That'll be for the jaws of Godzilla right here. We'll go with a goldfish, bottom fin right there. Looks pretty good for an eye shape. I've done this a lot, you know, but I think especially like if you want sort of a smaller, thin eye or whatever, it's good for that. And we had that octopus tentacle piece once more again here for, it's gonna look like that brow just over the eye. Kind of gonna help also making that look a little bit more menacing. You know, if we just left that goldfish fin by itself, I don't think it would look as epic and scary. So definitely good to have that. We had a PEA, of course that spells P for the pupil, and we got Brontosaurus coming up right here. We did keep on the thigh pieces, you know, those upper legs of the dinosaur, but here with the Brontosaurus, we can go with those hind legs, either the front or back one, and take the foot right there. Place it down in place of the dinosaur's feet, and we're on our way, ladies and gentlemen. So Pachycephalosaurus, obviously a long word to spell out, but there you go, there it is on screen. The Pachycephalosaurus, you can take that hind thigh piece right here and start that off for the arms. So it's going to actually be both arms, front and back. And so then we'll go with a Wendigo to finish those off. The Wendigo I like because you can get basically that forearm part for Godzilla, but also some claws. So, you know, it's double purpose right there. And we love that. Anytime that you can get a stamp that's going to kind of do 2 things, 3 things, you know, get a whole bunch of design aspects with just one stamp, we love it. Texansodal. So the Texansodal looks kind of like the grass in this game, but I think a little bit better for Godzilla's spikes up on the back. Right here, you guys, I'm loving how this is turning out epic. It's a Scribblenauts Godzilla, so I think it is going to look a lot like the Godzilla from King of the Monsters and all, but going to have a very Scribblenauts-y look to it, and here we go. So let's put this dragon body down to start off the tail. Notice that almost everything I would say we've put down has had some kind of texture or color pattern that makes it look a little bit more rigid, scaly. You know, we want him to have that rough looking body, and so that goes with most of the stamps that we've placed down. Not, I guess not every single last one, but almost. Sarcosuchus going down again. We're gonna take that tail piece though, kind of near the end, and it's actually for the same purpose on Godzilla, for that tail just in the middle. So not the very end, not the very front, not the very base of the tail where it starts, but there in the middle with a Spinosaurus, the end tail piece going down for the end tail piece of Godzilla. We are almost done, ladies and gentlemen, just getting some more Texansodal and other details to put in here for Godzilla. So amazing. We do want this creation, of course, to be ginormous, at least I think. Sometimes when I make stuff like that's really big, I'm like, you know what, we could even go bigger with that. Like after the episode's over, I still think we can go bigger. But all right, we're gonna go go into the properties editor here pretty soon. Let's read that background info. Presumably, we've been asked to create Godzilla today because of the King of the Monsters Godzilla film, which I think at the time of this recording is set to come out at the very end of May in 2019. It's a sequel to the 2014 Godzilla movie and will be the 35th film in the franchise. There have been some amazing trailers and images thus far, so I hope you guys have seen all of those, but I will just note that we're creating only Godzilla instead of Mothra, King Ghidorah, Rodan, etc. Because at this point, some of those have been shown off, but not with much like intricate detail for creating them in Scribblenauts yet. It's also been an insane week. I mean, getting back from PAX South for me, and we had Ice King to create. But even Godzilla is proving to be somewhat difficult to get great images detailing, say, his eyes and face, or even a full body screenshot or something, because just the trailers are all super dark, or even a full body screenshot or something because the trailers are all just super dark, as they should be, to fit the movie style and all that. But just to mention, we created Godzilla so long ago in this series, and in that episode in 2014, I made Godzilla green. This obviously angers some people, but Godzilla is green in actually many examples of American media surrounding him. Look to about 4 or 5 comics that show him as green, a few video games and promotional images, and the thing that might have started it all possibly was the 1956 Godzilla King of the Monsters poster. Again, King of the Monsters, but in 56. Specifically the American one, again. But I even had a toy of Godzilla back in my childhood, and you guessed it, green! I do realize Godzilla isn't green all the time and in so many movies, but to say on that video back in early 2014 on my generic Godzilla video to say Godzilla isn't green, well, that's just wrong, my friends. If I had created him green for today's creation, then yes, I would say that's incorrect. Don't at me! Okay, Akita. I love my community, so if you're part of that, I'm not talking about you guys. But anyway, check this out. Of course, we need our Fortnite characters here, these skins, to have some guns. They would have no chance against Godzilla, which I already think they're gonna have no chance against Godzilla, but they would really have no chance against Godzilla, King of the Monsters, if we didn't give them some kind of weaponry. Here, we'll go with 2 different kinds, like we got an assault rifle for the Cuddle team leader, which of course was in that old episode with Beast Bendy in it, and the Ice King can have a pistol right there, so he's blasting away. Let's see if we can get this Cuddle team leader. Oh crap, okay, there we go. Godzilla actually shooting out that atomic breath. It does look like it's a fireball and everything like that, but that's a good stamp for Scribblenauts to actually make these things get on fire after he shoots out that atomic breath. So yeah, I know that Godzilla shoots out atomic breath. It's not a fireball. Alright, anyway. I do hope you guys enjoy this as we see actually this is a much longer fought battle than I thought. We did give Ice King a lot of HP just in case, you want to make your Ice King kind of like the actual huge Fortnite Ice King over the map and all that. But if he would just, I feel like if Godzilla, there he goes, the Ice King is down. But I feel like if Godzilla would have just hit the Cuddle team leader once, he wouldn't have had to have those shots in his back the whole time, because you saw that the Cuddle team leader fell after 2 hits. That might honestly be different if this was like real Godzilla, real humans from Fortnite. But yeah, Cuddle team leader went down, man. Even losing that head on the ground.
Oh my god! Get away from me! Ah!
But hey, if you want to see how to create some other things, obviously just subscribe. We upload every Sunday. But if you also want to see how we created that Cuddle team leader right there, you can click on the annotation that's going to be on screen. Let me know who we should make next down in the comments below, and I will catch you guys on the next vid. And thanks for viewing.
Down the road of twists and turns, always anxious to see what's within. We can look ahead to the point of no return, to the rest of our lives as the spectacle begins. I've been down the road of